So if you think that you're gonna make more money as a designer by just simply working more hours, then you couldn't be further from the truth. Because working more hours is actually keeping you broke. And I don't mean that in a philosophical way. I mean that something specific is happening when you work more hours that is actively killing your growth. So the more you work, the more you expose yourself to this. And until you learn how to fix this, every hour that you put in is gonna make the problem worse. So in this video, I wanna show you exactly what that is so you can fix it and actually start scaling. And that one thing is distractions. But not all distractions are bad for you, because in design, there are two different creative methods. And the first one is the input phase. This is where you let your brain absorb all new information. This is where you look at research. This is where you go on Pinterest, on Dribbble, all these things. And weirdly enough, distractions are actually gonna help you here, because the more you get distracted by other ideas, you can get inspired and start to connect the dots. And this is actually a good place to get distracted. And then there's the execution phase. This is where you actually sit down in Framer and you start to work on the project that you have. So you actually start to design the sections, you start to put in the images, the text, the colors, all these things where you actually have to put in the work and not just look at inspiration. In this phase, every distraction is going to be killing your output. And the issue is that most designers never separate the two phases. And this is because we're used to distractions in the input phase. So then when they happen in the output phase, we're kind of used to it and we're just like, it's just another distraction. Well, this is completely destroying your output. And so in this video, I want to show you guys 5 different distractions that are killers for your execution. And the first one seems quite obvious because it happens to all of us, but I don't think anyone has actually nailed this down. Okay, so I'm not going to compare our work to being surgeons, but imagine that you're a surgeon in the middle of an operation and you have your scalpel in your hand and you're doing all these things, and then someone taps you on the shoulder asking if you've seen their email. That is what notifications are doing to your work. Every time that you're sitting down to do the execution work and you get a notification on your phone, you see the screen light up, you're going to automatically be distracted by that and it's going to ruin your flow. Now, this is a pretty obvious one, but it takes 23 minutes, according to this study here, to get your brain back into that flow. So that's actually kind of insane. 23 minutes, not seconds. So imagine that you're working inside a Framer and you see the phone go off, you check it for a second. It's going to take you 23 minutes to get back into the actual work flow to get things going. So I have a rule that during execution phase, or when you're actually doing output, the phone needs to be far away. You need to block notifications any way you can. But there's still another distraction that's hiding inside of your workflow, and this one might actually be worse than simple notifications. And speaking of protecting your execution phase, I set up a free checklist in the description that helps you set up your room to be perfect for free distraction work. This is how to set up your devices, your environment, your workflow, and this is all going to be free for you in the description. So I remember when I was a beginner designer, I had all the different tabs open for the project where I had inspiration. I had another project open, and in Figma or Framer, you just see that you have all the different tabs for the projects and you don't necessarily close them. Well, this is something that you need to stop doing. Every single project that you have open has a different client, a different brief, a different goal, and every time that you switch between these tabs, your brain is constantly doing something called context switching. Now, this is one of the worst mistakes that you can do for your attention, and the issue is that because you're doing work in other tabs and you're constantly switching here and you're doing a layout there and you're just trying to do a little bit of work here and there, it feels like you're progressing, but you're not really going deep into any work, which means that you don't actually do anything. You're just kind of creeping along the top of the soil. You're not actually digging deep into any problems. So once you start dedicating a single working block to a specific client or a project, you're going to start getting work done much faster. So even if it's just 90 minutes, that's how you protect the depth of work that you can do. So now that we've locked in ourselves to our project, there's still a third distraction that is going to mask itself as productive work, and it's one of the hardest things to catch on to. And the reason it's so hard to catch is because it belongs in the input phase. So whenever you go on Dribbble or Pinterest or Awards and you look at a hero section and you're kind of just drawn to all the different designs, and 30 minutes later you're still in someone's agency profile and you're looking at all the work that they've done and you realize that you haven't really been doing any work for the last 30 minutes, that is called reference rabbit holes. So your brain doesn't know that you've switched from execution phase into input phase because it's still focused on getting the work done. Now, the solution here isn't to completely get rid of this. The solution is to put it where it belongs, which is in the input phase. You don't want to start doing research while you should be in Framer doing the work. You want to do the research when you have to do the research. And if you need to do the research that day, then set it aside, do it in different time blocks. But even if you master this, there's still a fourth thing that's going to be taking hours away from productivity. And it has very little to do with either your phone, your browser, or Dribbble. I know that this one's going to resonate with a lot of you, but this is going to be constant availability. And it's exactly what it sounds like. It's always being available to a very quick question or a quick change, or if it has the word quick in it, you want to run as far away from it as possible. I used to do this all the time when I was working with clients. You're always available in Slack, which means that they can always get in touch with you. So by the end of the day, you're absolutely destroyed because you've been constantly going back and forth between the work that you had to be doing in Framer versus going on Slack versus going on email to reply to another client and all these things. So what you need to be doing here is communication windows. So only speak to clients if possible. possible in a specific time window. So if it's outside of this time window, say like 10 a.m. in the morning to 10:30, you reply to all the emails that you can. If you can, that's it. That's the only time you want to talk to them. And if they have another question, then you can answer it later on in the day, say at 12 or at 1. That way you're not just skipping them the entire day, but you're also allowing yourself to go into deep focus when you need it. But now that you've fixed your phone, your browser, and your inbox, there's still a fifth distraction that none of that is going to fix. And it's very hard to get rid of. And it's not even anything on your screen. So it's going to be this. It's going to be the space that you're actually sitting in right now, where you're going to be doing the work that you have to go deepest into. So at first I thought that some people work better in libraries, some people work better in coffee shops, just because they like the vibe that they're in. But it's not about just the vibe. It's about where you do the best work possible. And I took a lot of time to plan and think about this room that I'm in right now, because it's going to help me do the best work possible for clients, for YouTube, for creating my softwares. And it all comes down to being mentally clean. So I know where everything is and I don't get distracted by random things on the table. Everything has its place and I can just focus on work without trying to make things clean in the middle of the day. But this also has a downside, which is if you're constantly in your office or in your kitchen table or just in your bedroom, wherever you do your work, if you're also going to spend the rest of your day there, like for example, if you're working in your bedroom, you're also going to sleep there and then do the work there, it's going to drive you insane. Or at least that's what happened to me before I was able to have my own little office like this. So if you can, try to spend different hours, like for example, go to the living room and work in the kitchen table. If you can, go work at a co-work if you can for a specific amount of hours, and try to just switch it up, because spending 12 hours a day in one space is going to drive you insane. Knowing these 5 distractions is one thing, but it's not going to actually help you become more productive. Those are 2 complete different skills. So watch this next video right here where I break down the best productivity tips for designers after reading more than 50 books.